The Copper Gauntlet, Chapter 12. Cal and Tamara screamed. The car swerved, Cal's hands heedless on the wheel. That made Tamara scream even harder. Ah! All the screams woke Jasper and Aaron, who added their voices to the screaming. Havoc started to bark. Throughout all the commotion, Master Rufus just floated in the center of the car, looking annoyed and translucent. That was the final shock. Cal slammed on the brakes, and the car screeched to a stop in the middle of the road. Everyone suddenly stopped screaming. There was a dead silence. Master Rufus continued to be see-through. "Are you dead?" Cal asked in a shaking voice. "He's not dead," Jasper said, managing to sound smug and annoyed, even though he was clearly terrified. "He's calling from an ether phone. This is how it looks on the other end." "Oh." Cal filed away the knowledge that the thing he'd always called, or tornado phone, was actually called something else. He pictured Rufus holding a glass jar on his lap, staring into it balefully. "So you're somewhere else?" he asked Rufus. "Not actually here?" "It doesn't matter where I am. What matters is that you children are all in a great deal of trouble," Master Rufus said. "An enormous amount of trouble, and also a great deal of danger. Callum Hunt, you're already on thin ice. Aaron Stewart, you're a Makar, and you have responsibilities. Responsibilities that include behaving responsibly. And you, Tamar Rajavi, of the three of you, I expected you to know better." "Master Rufus," Jasper began, in his sweetest tattletale voice, "I'll have you know that I never—" "As for you, Jasper de Winter," Master Rufus said, cutting him off, "maybe I was wrong about you. Maybe you really are more interesting than I originally imagined. But the four of you must return to the Magisterium immediately." Jasper looked horrified, probably for several reasons. "Are you back at the Magisterium?" Cal asked. Master Rufus appeared highly peeved by that question. "Indeed I am, Callum. After spending most of yesterday and all of today fruitlessly searching for you children, one of you must have lost your protection against scrying. I see that you're in some kind of vehicle. Pull over, tell me where you are, and some mages will be along to get you shortly." "I don't think we can do that," Callum said, heart pounding. "And why not?" Master Rufus's eyebrows twitched with barely contained annoyance. Cal hesitated. "Because we're on a mission," Tamara said quickly. "We're going to recover the Alcahest." "I'm the Makar," Aaron said. "I'm supposed to save people. They're not supposed to save me. They resent having to save me. And I've been told plenty that I can't succeed doing stuff alone. So Cal is here to be my counterweight. Tamara is here because she's clever and crafty. And Jasper is—" "Comic relief?" Cal ventured under his breath. "I'm your friend too, you idiot!" Jasper burst out. "I can be clever." "Anyway," Aaron said, trying to recover the situation, "we're a team. We're getting the Alcahest back, so please don't send any other elementals after us." "Send other elementals after you?" Master Rufus sounded genuinely confused. "What on earth do you mean?" "You know what I mean," Aaron said, in that flat voice he used when he was angry and trying not to show it. "We all know. Automotones nearly killed us, and he came from the Magisterium. You released him to hunt us down." Now Master Rufus looked shocked. "There must be a mistake. Automotones is here, our prisoner. He has been for hundreds of years." "It's not a mistake," Tamara said. "Maybe the other mages didn't tell you because we're your apprentices, but it absolutely happened. Automotones murdered a woman too, burned her house down." Tamara's voice shook. "These are lies," Master Rufus said. "We're not lying," Aaron told him, "but I guess that means you trust us about as much as we trust you." "Then you're being lied to," said Master Rufus. "I don't know, I don't understand yet, but you must come back to the Magisterium. It's more important now than ever. This is the only place where I can protect you." "We're not coming back." Surprisingly, Jasper was speaking. He turned to Cal. "Hang up the phone." Cal stared at ghostly Rufus. I don't know how." "Earth!" Tamara yelped. "Earth is the opposite of air." "Right, Cal reached down, and he grabbed Miri out of the sheath on his belt. Metal had earth magic properties. "Sorry," he said, and plunged the knife into ghostly Rufus. Rufus disappeared with a pop, like a burst bubble. Tamara screamed. "Ah! I didn't kill him, did I?" Cal said, looking around at everyone's shocked faces. Only Havoc seemed unmoved. He'd gone back to sleep. "No," Jasper said. "It's just, most people just use earth power to shut down the connection. But I guess that's a lot of restraint to expect from you, weirdo." "I'm not a weirdo," Cal grumbled, sheathing his blade. "You're a little weird," Aaron said. "Oh, yeah, well, who lost their protective rock?" Cal demanded. "Who forgot to transfer it to their new clothes?" Tamara groaned in frustration. "That's how the mages found us. Jasper, did you?" Jasper held up his hands, flummoxed. "That's what the rock was for? No one told me!" "Now isn't the time to worry about this," Aaron insisted. "We made some mistakes. The important thing is that we hide from the mages as best we can." Cal went back to pull the car onto the main road, wherein he realized the engine had stalled out. Aaron had to spark the wires all over again while they held their collective breaths, since there were no more cars to take if the Morse conked out on them. A few moments later, though, Aaron had it running once more. Tamira didn't have any more stones, so they took turns passing around the ones they had, so the mages might not scry the right person at the right time. Cal drove for the rest of the day and through the night, with the other kids sleeping in shifts. Cal didn't sleep, though. At each rest stop, he acquired more and more coffee until he felt as though his head was going to spin around like a top and then pop right off. The landscape had changed, becoming more mountainous. The air was cooler, and pine trees took the place of mulberry and dogwood. "I could drive for a while," Tamara offered, coming out of a gas and grub in Maine. Dawn was breaking by then, and Cal had been caught at least once driving with a single eye open. Aaron had bought a Butterfinger and a honey bun and was mashing the candy bar into the pastry to make a bizarre sugar hot dog. Cal approved. Jasper ate pretzels and stared. "No," Cal said, taking a swig from his coffee. One of his eyes twitched a little, but ignored it. I've got this." Tamara shrugged and handed the directions to Jasper. It was his turn to navigate. "I refuse," Jasper said, taking a long look at Cal. "You need to sleep. You're going to drive into a ditch, and we're going to die, all because you won't take a nap. So, take a nap." "I'll set an alarm," Tamara offered. "I can stretch my legs," said Aaron. "Go ahead. Lie down in the back seat." Now that they mentioned it, Cal was feeling kind of fuzzy-headed. "Okay," he said, yawning. "But just for 20 minutes. Dad used to say that was the ideal amount of time for a nap." "We'll take Havoc for a real walk," Tamara said. "See you in 20. Cal climbed into the back seat, but when he closed his eyes, what he saw was Master Rufus, his eyes going wide, as Cal drew Miri and stabbed the image of him. His expression had reminded Cal of the way his father had looked, right before Cal had used magic to slam him against a wall. Despite being exhausted, Cal couldn't stop his brain from showing him those images over and over again. As soon as he shoved those images away, new ones rose up to take their place. Images of things that hadn't happened yet, but might. The look of betrayal on Aaron's face when he discovered who Cal really was. The look of fury on Tamara's. Jasper's smug certainty that he'd been right about Cal all along.